It's 6 out of 6 on the front row for Sebastian Vettel so far in 2017, but the German is way down in 5th position in the championship with 44 points, nearly half the points of ARAV heading into the Belgian Grand Prix. Pierre Gasly was once again the man keeping Vettel honest during the Saturday sessions, just 17 thousandths slower and with 11 more championship points to show for it than the 4-time world champion. Once again, Ricciardo just can't seem to find those precious tenths that Seb has been finding all year long, qualifying in 3rd, but that hasn't stopped the Australian from amassing a whopping 78 points, 34 more than his teammate. For the first time in a while, there's a Mercedes on the second row of the grid as ARAV posted a time less than 3 tenths off pole and over 3 tenths quicker than his young teammate Pascal Wehrlein in 6th. Splitting the silver arrows is Max Verstappen, who currently trails the smiling assassin by just 1 point in the Drivers' Championship. Becoming a top 10 regular, Antonio Giovinazzi managed to outqualify his teammate and both of the McLaren drivers, Hamilton getting the better of Van Dorn on this occasion. Rounding out the top 10 is Kevin Magnussen in his Renault, just 2 thousandths quicker than the Williams of Bottas when it mattered the most.
What's going on, guys? Over here. Welcome back to my F1 MyDriver career mode, episode number 6 today for season 3 at the Belgian Grand Prix. If you missed the last episode, episode number 5, then you can go check that out by clicking the card annotation in the top right. The Italian Grand Prix. Very, very awesome race at 1.3 wide into Parabolica, so if you have missed it, go check that out. But we're here for the Belgian Grand Prix, and a much improved qualifying for us, both me and Pascal Wehrlein, a little bit further up the grid than we usually are used to this season. So the team has made a few little strides here and there as we get on towards the summer break, which is after episode number 7. So hopefully we can get some more upgrades there, and then we'll see where we go. I mean, at the moment, we're doing okay to drag this car up. We just have to keep on doing it as best we can. But, you know, the guys around us, the Red Bulls, Ferraris, they're going to be a challenge today. We have qualified ahead of one of the Red Bulls, which is absolutely fantastic to see, so we'll have to see what we can make of it in today's race. But it looks like it's going to be the usual 2-stop strategy here at Spa, the option prime or option prime option route, so we'll see how it goes, really depending on where we are in the race at that point. If cars are around us, we'll see if we swap that round. But either way, we start on the option tyres here today for the Belgian Grand Prix. So here we go to 5 red lights for 22 laps around Spa. We are underway from 4th place on the grid. Another poor start from us. Verstappen makes a good start on the right hand side of the second. There's been contact. We're spun. We were on the grass. We're facing the wall, and there's been another car involved. I think it's Pascal Wehrlein. We have crashed with our teammate. We have made contact with him, and we have spun round on the opening lap. We've got, I think that's Ocon there, yeah, and the Force India has also had a bit of an accident behind us. Yellow flags. We're down in 18th place. What calamities have met us today for the Belgian Grand Prix. We're down the order. All the cars are pretty much down the Kemmel straight as we climb up Rouge now, and here we, oh my god, there's been a red off. There's been some more contact and crashes here. We've got yellow flags. We have to let Lynn through as we try to overtake him under yellow flags, but more contact there on the top of Rouge, which sees, I think that was Grosjean out of the Grand Prix. Giovinazzi in the Toros after a brilliant Italian Grand Prix has lost his front wing there, and he's down to 17th, and we're up in 16th. But let's have a look at the replay of what happened at the start. So we get a poor start as per usual, and then here, oh, what on earth happened there? We're gonna have a look a bit slow-mo on the onboards, but it looked like we just kind of tangled tires there as we're all kind of tight for space at the beginning, and there you go. That's not what you want to see at the beginning of the Belgian Grand Prix, facing the wall on the pit straight on the left-hand side on the grass. When you're meant to be trying to fight for a championship, fight for some crucial points here today. So let's look from the behind. Oh, you can see Wehrlein's front left clips my rear right tyre there. We look behind us, and then here's Wehrlein's POV. So let's see, this will probably give us a best indication of what happens here. So, turn a little bit right, I think that is, as I was trying to maybe cover off Verstappen. Didn't see Wehrlein at all. Wehrlein could have, I think, moved to the right though, because let's look at a replay in slow-mo now. And you can see here, I moved to the right slightly, but at this point, Wehrlein could have moved to the right as well. He definitely would have seen me moving to the right, so I felt like he could have given me some more room. But either way, I don't think Toto Wolff's going to be a happy team principal, especially after what happened in Hungary and in Italy. He could probably say this was coming, you know, a cooking pot waiting to boil over, and it finally has. But you can see Antonio Giovinazzi, this is what happened to him. He got collected by Wehrlein's sideways car, so he's lost his front wing at this point, so probably calamities for him as well. It's going to be very tough for him to come back in this race, especially after, unfortunately, how well he did at Italy. Shame for him to then have this poor luck here as he goes up Rouge though. Also, he puts himself in a very dangerous position because Mick Schumacher has to avoid him and go right off on Rouge, comes back on track and hits Grosjean. Grosjean's car collects a Force India, or nearly collects a Force India, and Grosjean's out the race. And then here's where I come through. We overtake Lynn under yellow flags, so we have to let him back through, and then we continue on down the Kemmel straight. The two Manor cars fighting away for some potentially points in a race like this where there's been a crash occurring like this. Anthony Giovinazzi there, you could see just going very slowly without any front wing, and now we're right behind the two Manor cars, having to fight back in this Grand Prix in a place where I thought we could maybe get some great points. It's looking like it's maybe going to have to be damage limitation, and here later on, Verline smashes into the back of Grosjean and spins him around yet again. So Grosjean, absolute calamity of a race in Verline now. He had a front wing still after that crash we had at on turn 1, lap 1, and now he's got no front wing for the rest of the lap. So really, really poor first lap for both of us concerned. Probably worse for him now after he's lost his front wing, but we just have to keep our head down. You have to kind of do this when you're in the World Championship, when you're fighting for maybe the World Championship. You have to just keep on going, keep your head down. You just never know what's going to happen in Formula 1 in these races. So we go down the inside of one Manor car, try to go around the outside of the other. So we're battling the Brits here. They're not really making it too easy for me to come back at them, but they've got every right to fight me. So we go side by side with, I think this is Lynn. We over to King right behind him. Yeah, it is with Lynn. And we go down the inside of him, and we're up into 14th place. Perez there going a little bit slowly. I think he's got damage from when he made contact with Grosjean, so this should be an easy pass down the back straight towards Blanchimont. Hopefully we can maybe make the move down the inside. Yes, we can. Go down the inside of Blanchimont. Perez, a lot of understeer. I think he may have got a bit of end plate broken off with that crash with Grosjean, so he goes very wide into that corner. Now through to the bus stop, and we end out that horrible lap 1, and we have to try and put that behind us. We're in 13th place, so not too bad. We've recovered a little bit because that crash at the top of the Kemmel Straight, or the top of Eau Rouge I should say, really did help us out actually getting a few places. Otherwise we probably would have been down in like still 17th place, so at least that helped us out a bit. But now we've got to keep our head down, keep fighting, see where we can go. So on to lap 3, we move on. We're right on the back of Nico Rosberg now, so you know, even though we're down here, the car still has some good pace against these lower cars. You know, we may not be able to match Red Bull, Ferrari, maybe McLaren on their day, but we certainly are faster than all these guys ahead of us right now in the lower points or just outside the points, so we should be able to get these guys. But Rosberg really parking the bus here, quite frustrating actually, and not being the kind of it seems like he's not assured of where he's really driving maybe, and so we have to kind of dart around, brake a little bit on this back straight. And now we go side by side with the German. We've had many battles with him in the past when he's been in the Ferrari car and in the Mercedes in previous seasons. Now he's in the lower Williams car, and we have to try and make the move. We fake to the left, move to the right hand side, down the inside of the bus stop, lock up a little bit, go a little bit deep, but we've made that move for 12th place. And now, well, you can see by the mini map there's a huge gap, so now's the time to really get the head down. Just focus on the lap times, don't let anything else phase us, just keep it going, keep it calm, keep it collected. Let's see where we can end up in this Grand Prix, and the first objective is just to catch up to Hulkenberg and that Alfa Romeo. And so we move on later into the Grand Prix, lap 5, coming through to the bus stop, still trying to chase down the 11th man at Nico Hulkenberg. But you can see on the right hand side, my team originally wanted me to pit on lap 4. We're going to continue on for a 6th lap. You can see people in the pits on the mini map. Magnussen in, Vettel in as well. So a big player already into the pits quite early on in the Grand Prix. And we're going to continue on because I think, to be honest, a way to get back at this Grand Prix may be trying a very, very audacious one-stop race here, just to try and see if we can jump people, while obviously making that standard 2-stop. As we come through onto lap 7, we've got the likes of Hulkenberg finally in the pits, and we're up into 4th place at the moment. So if we could make the one-stop work, this could be a very, very good call. But it is a big if we can make it work, because we move on to the end of lap 7, and already by the end of lap 7, Vettel has caught up back to us on that fresh set of option tyres that he'll have. At the moment, Mick Schumacher is up in 3rd place ahead of us, so Mick has made an absolutely worldly beginning of this Grand Prix. As we come through the exit of the bus stop, Vettel right behind us. You can see we're leading a train at the moment. Our tyres are really going off. The front right is absolutely on fire, brick red on the indicator. We go side by side with Vettel. He goes down our inside. We actually get a good traction off the exit and actually go side by side with Sebastian and come back at us, which he probably doesn't expect. And we go through towards Eau Rouge. Are we going to have bigger balls than he will? Yes, we do. We go around the outside. We'll just hang it through for what will be 4th place at the moment. But now down the Kemmel Straight, surely all these guys will have us with DRS. We've got a darting around McLaren. We've got Kevin Magnussen getting stuck in there. Both Ferraris trying to overtake me. Ricardo goes down my inside. We're going to have to let him through. And so we're down to what will be, I think this will be 6th place right now. And Magnussen right behind us, followed by the McLaren and the Red Bull of Max Verstappen. At the moment, Pierre Gasly leads the Grand Prix. And we've got Mick Schumacher, as I mentioned earlier, in a very surprising 3rd place at the moment, after being very opportunistic at the start of this Grand Prix. But Kevin Magnussen goes down our inside. You can see just a lack of grip completely there, and he completely mugs me off in front of my pals. And so we've got Van Dorn right behind me. We've got a train of Verstappen as well, and I think that's a Williams car of Bottas. And you can see the front right really brick red. As we come through to the bus stop, I have a huge lockup, and look at that. Our tyre has actually popped our tyre has actually exploded on the front right. I've never seen that in a career mode episode. You know, you've seen it plenty of times when we've done drive to the tyres explode challenges, but I've never actually done that in a career mode without intending to. I really didn't want to actually pop my tyre there. I was going to come in that lap, but I had no intention of making a puncture, so I need to probably count my blessings that it came right then and there on the bus stop. Can you imagine if it popped down that back straight towards Blanchimont? I would have been screwed. So it was the perfect time to pop just as you came into the pits, and we're now onto the prime tyres. We're going to try and do this. We're going to try and make this one stop work. It's audacious. It might not work completely. It might completely backfire, but I've got nothing to lose. We're out the points. We're so many seconds down the order. We have got nothing to lose, frankly. So up into Rich Mix, let's push on these prime tyres, see what we can do. We move on to lap 9, again catching up to the Manicar of King, who's obviously made a second stop already, and so he's kind of out of sync with us, so we have to re-overtake him here. Daniel Ricciardo taking the fast lap of the Grand Prix, so the Ferraris are trying their best to catch up to Gasly at the moment, who I believe is still in the lead of this Grand Prix. Obviously, Gasly trying his best to come back in the championship after 2 DNFs in the first 5 races, but now we move on a few laps later to lap 10, and we're right behind Ocon, who's going very slowly. Looks like he's going to come into the pits. We come through the exit of the bus stop. Rosberg in the pits now. You can see it's getting a little bit overcast, so it might be, it might start to rain later on in this Grand Prix. We move on to lap 12. We're up into 12th place after those people have made their pit stop. So we're pretty much in the same place we were before everyone made their first or second pit stop. So at the moment, the one stop doesn't look like it's working out. But as I've just mentioned, it is darker. You can see it's a lot darker as we go down the Kemmel Straight. So could there be some rain coming? And it could play into our hands as we move on to the very next lap. It is starting to rain, and we go really wide into this little X section. You can just see the lack of grip that I've got in this car at the moment, and it looks like it is going to be an intermediate tyre for the next pit stop. Look at this, that camera angle really shows the rain falling at the moment around Spa-Francorchamps. So this could be a blessing, because it looked like the one stop pace really wasn't working for us. It looked like the prime tyre really did not have any kind of lap time in it to catch up to these guys, so I think the rain is going to be a blessing in disguise. But you know, at first I thought, oh no, the rain's coming, because if you remember back to Silverstone, we didn't have great pace there in the wet. But I think any sort of mix to this race is going to help us out, because at the moment, if it stayed like this on dries, I don't think we were going to be able to do anything. So on lap 13 at the end, you can see the tyres are getting very, very cold on the indicators, so it definitely is time to come in for those green wall intermediate tyres. So let's just hope that people make mistakes. You know, we saw last season at Spa, we saw, what was it, the 2 McLarens coming together. You just never know what can happen around here. It's a very long circuit as well, very big one. So the fact that it's raining right now means that there might be still cars, you know, later on in the lap who are still on dry tyres, while I'm here on the other side of the circuit, miles away on intermediate. So that's the great thing about Spa, that it's such a huge circuit that people could be on such differing parts of the circuit. As we move on into the middle of lap 14 through the S section, where I was going wide previously, we've now got amazing amounts of grip. Rosberg on option tyres completely fly past him, and this is Hulkenberg, and he definitely looks like he's got dries and onto the car ahead of him there. So we're past him very easily up into 11th place, and up ahead we've got another car going slowly, so we'll see about that. It's Sainz in the Toro Rosso, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be on dry tyres as well. Looks like all of these guys are being caught out. As I mentioned, such a big circuit, there's such a big difference in where you can be, and Sainz going very slowly through Blanchimont, and I just about hang around the outside. That was inches away from being a nasty crash, but we've made it through and we're up into 10th place, and Bottas now goes into the pits, and Verstappen down in 9th place goes into the pits, so we're up in 8th as we go and skid across the line onto lap 15, up into 8th, up into 6th place at the moment. This is working out an absolute treat, up into 5th. No doubt, up into 5th place. This is absolutely amazing. We've overtaken Kevin Magnussen there, and so the top 4 left, I think Sebastian Vettel, I think Mick Schumacher still might be up there, I think Lewis Hamilton, and then Pierre Gasly. So this is absolutely amazing at the moment. On to lap 15 at the end through the bus stop. You can see it's getting really, really wet, and we actually come in for a set of full wet tyres, so it's not over yet. Full wet conditions now. It could get very, very tasty. You just never know who's going to make a mistake, including me. So we've got to keep it on the black stuff. We're going to make sure we do the job here. But at the moment, I'm getting a little bit giddy, because we have really made this, we've really turned this race around at the moment, because we've got Ricciardo behind us. Vettel's only just there coming out of the pits ahead of us. So we have really turned in what could have been a catastrophe of a Grand Prix weekend into what could be a pretty good fight back here. As we're in 5th place, we move on to lap 18. You can see Mick Schumacher there still up in 4th. He comes in the pits though on lap 18. I'm not too sure why, but this now means we're going to move up into 4th place here. So, dare I say it, could we even go for a podium? Sebastian Vettel's only a few seconds down the road, 8 seconds there in the top left. Could we turn this from last to a podium? That would be literally the story of the season, I think, as we skate off on the exit of lap 19, as we move on to lap 21. 2 laps later, we're in Rich Mix. We have been catching one Sebastian Vettel in that red Ferrari who's been struggling in the wet. That's him right there in the distance. You can see that little kind of shadow going through the circuit. That is Sebastian Vettel. As we go down to the bus stop, we see him more clearly. We are right there for the taking. We've locked up, gone deep. But Sebastian Vettel goes into the pits. Vettel's pitting on the last lap of towards the last lap of the Grand Prix. Why on earth is he coming in? We've only got 1 lap left. It's Silverstone all over again. And we come through. We're in 3rd at the moment. And Sebastian Vettel's into the pits. And Lewis Hamilton is into the pits. We're into 2nd place of the Belgian Grand Prix. Hamilton is in onto intermediates. It's drying out. And they feel like they can gain enough time to come back at me on intermediates maybe. Maybe not Vettel. But will Hamilton be able to get us back? It looks like for sure we'll at least get a podium. But can we keep 2nd place now? As Hamilton's going to be coming at us like an absolute rocket ship. You can see I'm having to weave around, go slowly. We weave to the kind of outside part of the circuit to where all the wet stuff is still, because on the racing line it's drying out, so I have to kind of weave around, try and cool down the tyres. But you can see in the distance there, just in the background corner of your eye, Lewis Hamilton coming through in that McLaren on intermediate. Clearly the best tyre right now, but we've only got 1 lap left. But here he comes, Lewis Hamilton making a charge in his McLaren on the correct tyre. Pierre Gasly is definitely going to win this Belgian Grand Prix. He's going to win 2 races in a row, but who is going to join him on that podium in what order? 2nd or 3rd? Is it going to be me or Hamilton? You can clearly see that from the gap behind Hamilton. We are going to get a podium either way, which would be absolutely fantastic either way, considering we are on the grass facing the pit wall on the left-hand side on lap 1. But will it be 2nd by the end of the lap? You can see the tyres absolutely cooking. We go wide. We've lost a bit of traction. We have to let off the throttle to make sure the car doesn't spin. And now Hamilton gets a beautiful exit with his intermediate tyres. And here he comes for 2nd place in the Belgian Grand Prix. He moves to the left-hand side of the circuit. We go side by side. He's going to have the measure of us. We stick in behind him. Can we do anything into Blanchimont? The tyres are absolutely cooking. Pierre Gasly wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Can we do anything? We're going to try go down the inside. Hamilton goes deep on the intermediates. We go side by side through the final corner. We can make it round the outside. It's a gun to the line. Who's going to get it? It's going to be a photo finish side by side. Who's done it? Who's got 2nd? I think we might just have it. But who's really got it? We do a slow-mo. Look how close this is. It's a photo finish. And we just get 2nd place in the Belgian Grand Prix by literally a front wing. A fraction of a front wing. Look at that. Oh my god. What a Belgian Grand Prix you guys have just witnessed. Probably one of the best drives of my entire F1 gaming career. Oh my word, we were on the grass, looking on the left-hand side wall on lap 1. And now we come through for 2nd place, and a 2nd place like that, a photo finish, and we had a tyre blowout. We had everything in this Grand Prix, bar a safety car, which doesn't exist in this game. Oh my god, what a Grand Prix. Guys, if that doesn't deserve a like, I don't know what does anymore. Smash that like button. What a race you guys just witnessed. I'm breathless. Wow. What an enjoyable one. That was so enjoyable. Probably one of the best races, funnest races I've ever had on the F1 racing games. What a race that was. Pierre Gasly wins 2 in a row, so Gasly does really well for his championship after those 2 DNFs. We come home 2nd, 3rd place Lewis Hamilton. It's going to be a 4-5 for Scuderia Ferrari. Sebastian Vettel getting 1 over Daniel Ricciardo this time for 4th and 5th. Kevin Magnussen, a brilliant 6th place for Renault, and Stoffel Van Dorn lurking down in 7th place. A poor race from him. I think he was held up quite a lot in traffic. And Mick Schumacher, unfortunately, he was in the top 3 at one point in this race, but falls down to 8th after that kind of early pit stop he made on lap 18, but still 8th place, 4 points for Alfa Romeo again. Brilliant stuff by him. Max Verstappen lowly down in 9th compared to his teammate. I think he got caught up in the incidents. You saw he was early on down to 9th place because obviously the spin with us and with me and Verline I think affected him a little bit. And then Valtteri Bottas gets Williams' first point of the season in 10th place. Carlos Sainz, both Toro Rossos out of the points today after some unfortunate incidents with them. But what a Grand Prix that was. Guys, if you have enjoyed it once more, smash that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're new around here, then do subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content. It's not always exactly like this, but MyDriver pretty much lives up to this standard of being absolutely crazy every single race. So if you are new around here and you enjoyed what you saw, get subscribed. I'll leave you guys with the post-race interviews. I need to go lie down, but what a Grand Prix that was. I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Wow, surely that's the best drive of your career. Would you disagree?
Yeah, no, I gotta agree with that, because that was absolutely insane race for us today, and I just can't believe it. I just can't believe what we actually just did out there today. And you know, if you told me we were going to be in this position on lap 1, I wouldn't have believed you. I can't believe we're here celebrating with some champagne after what a shit start that was. You know, being on the grass, looking at the wall, and being last. Honestly, I wouldn't have imagined me being on the podium, but you know, you got to keep your head down. You got to keep going. I was telling the team on the radio that, you know, believe me, we can pull this back. We can get points here. And you know, we've just done that. We've done that and some. And what a finish with Hamilton. It was great to have that little moment with him. And you know, I'm sure we're both, you know, very exhausted after that, because that was a really run to the line, but fantastic Grand Prix for us. And it was all about belief, really, all about, you know, keep on going. And I think that's what I need to keep on doing for the team, to make them believe, because I think at the moment, even though everything's going really well so far in the championship, I still, obviously, because our car's not up to pace, there's still that lack of belief that we can keep this up and basically keep doing it. So yeah, but yeah, such a great day today.
Tell me about the start. You had a collision with your teammate. Is this now something that has to be looked at by the team?
Honestly, I don't know at this point. It was a really stupid thing that happened in the start, and it was, you know, no one's intention for that to happen, I don't think. And as I said, it was a very awful moment for both of us, I'm sure. So I don't know what we do going forward. Of course, we'll have a debrief, as we usually do at the end of every race, and we'll see how it goes. I know where I stand on it, and I think hopefully Mercedes will do the right thing. We'll see how it goes, but for sure we can't continue like nothing happened after this race, because you know, we got close in Hungary and it was a good fight. You know, Italy got even closer and it ended up with one of us in the gravel, and now, well, both of us were last and second last on lap 1, and you know, you can't count on the rain and the strategy and everything like I did today to work out every time. So yeah, we're gonna have to discuss that behind closed doors.
Okay, thanks for your time.
All right, cheers, thanks.